I love the colourful clothes she wears.
And the way the sunlight plays upon her hair.
I hear the sound of gentle wind.
She's picking up good vibrations. It's giving her excitations.
She's picking up good vibrations. It's giving her excitations.
Good vibrations.
Excitations.
Good morning and welcome to Tallahassee. Chris Chavez here with Aisha Protlier and Eric Jenkins coming to you live from the 2026 World Cross Country Championships for our CITIUS Mag Live at Worlds pre-show presented by ASICS. They've got us in this awesome space that is literally basically right on the course.
Right on the course.
And in addition to that, the press conference is about to start about 10 feet away from us. So if at some point in this we lower our voices a little bit, it's so that we're not distracting from the traditional media over there asking questions to President Seb Coe, and they've got Paul Tergat in the house. So
I was on this flight.
You were on his flight?
Yeah.
Who else was on your flight?
Paul Tergat, the whole South Africa team, and honestly, that's about it. But good flight nonetheless.
Eric, I guess we're here in Tallahassee. This is a place that you used to come for winter training blocks, right? Like,
yeah, I've done a few camps here. I love it. It's a great. I mean, at this time of the year, it's perfect weather, right? It's like 70, sunny, great soft surfaces, really nice trails. As much fast food as you could possibly desire. It's I always enjoyed my time here for training. Yeah.
But neither of you have ever raced on this cross country course, right?
Never raced on this cross country course. Driving in, it's gorgeous. There are all these beautiful trees. There's a lake as we're entering, and I can't wait to get out there tomorrow.
Yeah. We're gonna do a little bit of a course walkthrough after this. Eric and I are gonna get our ASICS Super Blasts all dirty while we're out there trying to see the new additions that they have, because they've tried to, kind of pay homage to some of like the Florida coastline, the Everglades. The theme parks are honored by like this hill that they've built on the course. This is already kind of a little bit of a challenging cross-country course before all of this, but now they're throwing some extra challenges along the way. It kind of gives it a little bit of a Spartan race feel. You guys have been talking about this on your podcast.
We have mentioned it once or twice, yeah. We've seen the pictures of it, but I'm excited to actually be here in person and see what the obstacles look like. It is, like Aisha said, it's a beautiful area. Of course, it seems super nice. If you can navigate the alligators and the man-made hill and the Florida beaches, you should be able to run really well.
I will say, the photos, it was looking a bit camp, but getting here, it looks awesome. It feels like we're actually at a world championship. And Eric and I have been talking about this. Like, people are not excited enough for world championships, but getting here, getting to the course, seeing all of the signage, everything looks, elite. Like, we are here with the best of the best, and the course looks, we can only see a few hundred meters of it. We can see the big hill, but it looks really good.
Yeah, the AI renderings didn't really do it justice. Now that we kind of see them in person, I'm like, okay, all right, this is going to be a little bit challenging. And then I think the report from David Monty yesterday from the walkthrough was that they found like poisonous snakes like on the course that they had to like pull. So
did you put those, Eric?
Yeah. I got in early. I went right from the airport to drop a few poisonous snakes. Wait, well, Chris, we actually have to run this course in a couple hours. How many poisonous snakes are we talking about?
They pulled 2, I think, and it was like by the alligator, like little wood carving things that they had. So
okay, I guess it's just another obstacle for Awagawi and Guillemot to deal with along the way.
All right, so that brings us sort of to previewing the actual races that we have on tap, and there are some heavy hitters that have been that are entered in this one. So we're going to kind of go in order of the events and how people can go about watching them on race day. So first, let's hit you with the basics, is how to watch this thing. So the races will be broadcast on Peacock starting at 9:35. That's 10 minutes before the start of the mixed relay. And then from there, a TV window does open up at 10 a.m. and will go through 1 o'clock p.m. So that'll
On
be
CNBC.
on CNBC. So that is how you can watch it in the United States. So the order is mixed 4x2K relay. Then you got the women's U20 6K race, men's U20 8K race, women's senior 10K race, men's senior 10K race to follow. We have a full preview up on CITIUSmag.com where we have links to the results, the start list, the entries. But let's talk that mixed relay, which is always a lot of fun because you get the blend of some milers, some 5K runners. And so traditionally the last couple of years, Kenya has come out with the gold medal.
Yeah.
They've got a heavy hitter on their team with Reynold Cheruiyot, the bronze medalist in the 1500 as part of that team. So Kenya's probably like the favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking the U.S. might be a sneaky contender for a medal in this one. Ethan Strand, Gracie Morris, those were the U.S. champs. But in addition to that, you got Wes Porter and Sage Hurta-Klecker. Strong team, I think. Aisha, your thoughts?
Yeah, so what's interesting is...
Good whisper.
Or whisper because the
We're
press
whispering 'cause
conference started.
The press conference is going. Yeah, so it's interesting because there's not a single team that put every big dog they have in the fight, right? Like we've got Team USA who has a great shot. When I'm looking at the other names of these teams, Australia is another is a team that I think is maybe the most full of studs. But I think the Team USA has a great chance to come away with a medal.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenya's very dominant in this event. It's whether they won 3 of the last 4 of this event, but so I think they will be tough to beat. Like Aisha mentioned, that Australia team is stacked.
Yeah.
But America's, I would assume absolutely they've got a very good shot at getting a medal, and I bet that's their goal.
I think the best finish they've had is 4th in 2019. So the U.S. has never medaled in the mixed relay. Australia did medal 2 years ago when they had it on their home soil. So if there's a little bit of a home team edge, I think the United States is looking for it. But a sleeper pick that Paul Hoff-Mahoney highlighted was Morocco's got like 4 NCAA stars, like Fouad Massaoudi,
they know the
Anis
scores.
Asai. Like, yeah, so, and plus you're capitalizing on getting, college athletes who were super fit just 2 months ago running cross country. So look out for Morocco as another sneaky contender there. Ethiopia always fields a strong team. Now, the story with Ethiopia coming into these championships is that their senior squads are full, but it's their junior squads that got devastated by like these visa issues. And they weren't the only country. A couple other countries struggled with visa issues to get athletes cleared to come to the championships. I mean, the United States is for sports at least, you got to get your act together because we got a World Cup, the Olympics, like all over the next couple of years. So I think that's something that is unfortunate, I think, for a country like Ethiopia, which is so historically strong in the junior ranks, to not have a full team here.
It was just the juniors from the Ethiopia squad.
Mostly, yeah. And I think like
issues.
it was even up until the last second, there was like a last-ditch effort by the athletes to go to the embassy, and then they still got rejected by to try and get a visa. So super unfortunate, but they do have their senior team here, and we'll touch on them when we look at the men's and women's big races. But yeah, so the mixed relays.
Do we know in the mixed relays what the order is? Does it go man, woman, man, woman? Like do we know yet how that goes? Do we got our boy? Is Ethan Strand anchoring, bringing home, or is
he
it
should, right?
Gracie Morris?
Yeah, I guess I guess I didn't write this part of the preview. David did, but I'm sure it's aligned, like just sort of like how they do at
the mixed 4x4.
Yeah, the mixed 4x4,
Yes.
where it's like, oh, you're not going to end up having Sage versus Olli Hoare.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think a bronze would be a great day for the United States.
Huge day. It would be great to kick off the day of World Championship cross country on American soil with a medal.
Yeah.
I think what's also interesting too is we're here at a major global cross country event. And cross country is trying to make its way into the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, this is such a jumping off point for how great the sport can be. And for the U.S. to win a medal at World Cross going into the hype of a future potential Olympic bid is huge.
Yeah. For you guys, I guess, like, what makes a 2K just such a funky distance for this type of relay?
I mean, I've never done a 2K.
I've raced a 2K. I've raced a 2K professionally, and I think it's the perfect distance.
But I mean, on grass, like on grass, like in cross.
Grass. Yeah. So, but not on grass. I've raced a 2K on the track, and a 2K on the track is very fast. It's 1,500 meter pace, and add an extra lap. Like, it is a very, very fast pace. Now we have alligators to jump over. We have water to run through, mud, sand. Like, it's going
snakes.
To be,
we have a new edition of snakes, which is great.
Like, it's going to be really hard to get in a rhythm, and the rhythm that they're going to want to run is very, very fast. So this is going to be intense. Honestly, if I was a steepler, this is where I would shine.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you've got, you have all of these things where you have to be very good at running fast with a bunch of stuff in your way. So the athletes that are sporty, resilient, and tough are the ones that are going to come away with the medal.
Yeah, I guess like the one thing that we picked up on intel-wise from the course is that this wasn't like advertised in any of like the course renderings, but that the alligators get bigger as you go along, and so by the last one, like, you actually do have to like pretty much hurdle over, and the athletes are required. Like, there's no running around it like they did at NCAA course. There's going to be officials
you
in
have
those
to
sections.
go over the alligators.
You have to
And
go.
they get
my
and the alligators
Lanta.
get progressively bigger.
Yeah.
And,
my.
do the athletes know that the alligators get progressively bigger? By the end, they're like, and at the last alligator is real. Give them the actual Florida experience. Put a real alligator in there.
I'm really trying not to laugh because
Put a real alligator in here, for Christ's sake. Actually, you know what? That's what I'll do tonight. My day's got super busy. I got to find a real alligator.
All right, let's move over to the women's senior race.
Yeah.
Now, with this one,
I'm just picturing Eric like wrestling an alligator.
Yeah, like, please come to the course. We're trying to make this an Olympic sport.
all right, the story in the women's senior race is that Beatrice Chebet isn't here. Decided to take 2026 to start a family, so the two-time defending champ isn't back to defend her gold medal. And just overall, I guess Eric and I were talking about this in the car, is just, it seemed like a little bit of like the upper echelon of 5K, 10K runners from the track aren't necessarily here. Even Nadia Bottocletti, who's like the silver medalist in the 5K, 10K.
She should be here.
She's
Nadia
the one-
Bottocletti should be here.
Yeah. Because, I mean, she just won European Championships a couple weeks ago.
And she's doing another cross country race after this.
Yeah.
She should be here.
She should absolutely be here. She had such a great
Where's
shot at the
Nadia?
medal, but
Yeah. Unfortunately, she's not here.
she's going to be
I mean,
trapped in a gator with Eric.
Yeah.
Frankly, like, I think that it's a missed opportunity for a gold medal for her.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So she's not here. Gudov's a guy who medaled in the 10K, not here. So Agnes Ngetich is actually probably
Clear
on
favorite.
paper the favorite. I mean, a road 10K record holder, just a powerhouse on the track for Kenya. So she's the low stick for Kenya, right? Like, that's where you're going to get 1 point, 2 points maybe, in a worst case scenario. So from there, if we kind of look at like how wide open it is, if we assess the Kenyan team, they have the Kenyan woman who won the national championships for them is, I want to get her name right, Maurine Chebor, who's 21 years old, never represented Kenya internationally. The rest of the Kenyan team is also still pretty young and inexperienced, like, at the global stage. And that's also the storyline you'll see with Ethiopia. Ethiopia has a bunch of, there's two 20-year-olds, a 19-year-old, and a 21-year-old. That's like their core four. Some of them have won medals at the junior ranks here in cross country, so that's like good experience. And then in addition to that, you're just kind of, you've competed at a world cross before. Yeah. So when I'm looking at those two, the two historically deep squads, I kind of give the edge to Ethiopia over Kenya, although Kenya's looking to three-peat at this point. there's a little bit of it's a little wide open at the top. It feels like.
This sometimes happens at World Cross. Like World Cross can be a big sort of debut for top talent coming out of East Africa. So I wouldn't necessarily bet against any new up and coming athlete. Like they were chosen for this team for a reason. Maybe they haven't competed internationally before, many times. But this is where we see like the next generation. This is where we see the Faith Kipyegon's of the world rise up. So this can often be the beginning and a big jumping off point for the next stars in the sport.
Yeah. So to that point too, it's like what limited international experience some of these athletes have. Like so. If you go back to like last year and you think of, I tuned in for that Rome Diamond League in the 5K and there was a couple young Ethiopians in there. It's the people who like you see a PR but not a whole lot of history. Like those are these athletes.
Right.
And that's who's being part of this Ethiopian team. So Ethiopia, Kenya, young squads, but again, they've just proven how good they are.
They're just historically so good at cross country.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like it's where they like kind of like Aisha said, like it's where these really great talents kind of start out at. I mean, what did in the last World Championships Kenya went on the women's side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah.
I mean, that just shows you right there. It's how dominant they are. And the team might be green and inexperienced on paper, but you would still probably have them in the favorites for sure.
Yeah, cross country is cross country.
Exactly, they just understand cross country.
Yeah. Another country that has been on the rise on the women's side and been part of podiums over the last couple of years is Uganda. I mean, they're always looking for a medal upgrade. Now, what I would classify as like championship experience, at least like on the track and representing their country, Uganda has a bit more of that compared to Kenya and Ethiopia because the likes of Joy Cheptoyek, who was 7th at the 2025 World Championships in the 10K, is their low stick. And then they got Sarah Chelangat and Rebecca Chelangat, who have also represented Uganda internationally over the last couple of years. The Team Uganda gets interesting because their other members of the team don't really have track PBs. They competed at the World Mountain Championships, which
interesting.
Well, they got a man-made mountain right behind us.
And
Hopefully,
they look at that and they're like, "That's it."
Yeah.
That's a couple pieces of 2x4s just like stacked up.
That is such an interesting strategy going into this. I kind of like it.
Yeah. So
Very cool. Yeah.
I think from like the database on the results, it did say I think like World Athletics Mountain Championships. So I think like there's an extension. I think that at least like it's populating on like their World Athletics and the other databases. So that's an interesting thing that I think that Uganda brings. It's like okay, a couple names that you don't know, but they do have racing experience in mountain running, which I feel like is pretty valuable when it comes to
I would say
cross
very
country.
valuable. I mean, if Agnes Ngetich doesn't win it, Joy from Uganda is,
she could be the top candidate to break up like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that brings us to Team USA, and like, is there a chance that they can get a medal? A medal would be
really amazing. I mean, it's to get on the podium with the type of teams that are going to be lining up tomorrow. This would be a huge day for Team USA. But I would never want to sit here and be like, they're not going to be able to do it.
because the United States has not medaled at World Cross since 2011, and they were 4th in 2024. And you're like, oh, that means that they're right there. Not quite. They were 69 points behind Uganda, and then Uganda was separated from Ethiopia, I think, by a point or two. So like the gap is pretty big. Yeah. And when we look at this team, like Wayne, this is going to be, I think, her 3rd World Cross Country Championship. Like she brings the most experience, the best aerobic engine, I think, of everyone in this. That she, if Wayne could get into the top 10, which I think her best,
you would need a
was
huge
like,
day from Wayne leading the charge to have Team USA end up on the podium.
Yeah. So I mean, Wayne is the low stick. Katie Izzo, the way she raced at U.S. Champs, I mean, you guys were there. Like,
she was so aggressive.
It was aggressive and brave.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. I think we'll see a big day from Katie. Like you don't enter the race at USA's with that strength and depth of field and take the race and lead and push without confidence that only comes with extreme good form.
Yeah.
And like she's fit.
Yeah.
Clearly, she's fit. So I think she'll take a big swing and a big step up here.
Edna Kurgat, Carissa Schweizer, this is their second World Cross team. Both of them have competed here in the past. Edna Kurgat, I think, in 2023, Carissa Schweizer in 2019. And then I think the thing to just always remember about someone like Carissa Schweizer, both of them NCAA cross-country champions, but Carissa's just like so consistent at making these teams just year over year, 5K, 10K, 5K, 10K, doubling and all that. So I'm excited to see what she could possibly do here. And then our team is rounded out by Emily Venters and Grace Hartman, who this is their first time representing Team USA at a global championship. And honestly, like Grace Hartman's performance at the NCAA Cross Country Championships kind of just instills further confidence that like she's made for an event like this.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that the NCAA cross-country athletes have such an advantage. Pros don't race cross-country very much. There aren't very many opportunities to get on grass and race on grass and run hard on grass. That's a totally different sensation than being on the track. So I think anybody who's has recency toward NCAA cross-country is going to have a really good day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, the U.S. championship race was so tough. So to make it onto this team shows that you're going to be able to mix it up in the top in this race. Yeah, great. Like Grace has run so well all year, super sharp in terms of cross-country racing. I mean, Carissa Schweizer is like a real veteran.
Yeah.
She's someone who makes teams who, when she's healthy and running well, she's on. And so I would assume she looked great at USA's, and she tends to look better the more she races.
So I think the optimistic outlook on Team USA is probably another fourth place finish would be a good day.
Would still be a good day, yeah.
Getting on the podium would be amazing. And then if we can squeak 2 runners into the top 30, I think that'd be pretty
huge.
solid.
That would
Say
be
great,
huge.
yeah.
Swaney in the top 20 and then someone else close behind, that's a good day.
For sure. I think if my coworkers at FanDuel have the line right, I think it's like fourth would be a good solid day for them. Third would be, it's just unbelievable. And so it's not out of the picture, but I think it just takes a few like superhuman performances, which can be tough to all get right on the same day. So I think fourth would be great, and third would be, just fantastic.
Wayne's got to get over that final alligator.
If Wayne, she's a bit of a shorter runner, so hopefully the gator isn't as big as we're hearing. But if she can get over that gator, my God, who knows?
Yeah. All right. Some quick hits on other runners to watch. Megan Keith with the absence of Nadia Bottocletti, it's Megan Keith probably from Team GB who will lead like the European charge. And then Australia, Lauren Ryan, former Florida State Knoll, is out here. There's a lot of Florida State alums in this race.
Yeah.
I think like everyone's like, I can't miss it if it's here.
Yeah, and Lauren Ryan was top 10 at Worlds in the 10K.
Yeah,
like
it's true.
she is ready to have a big race. Like she's shown that she's not afraid to mix it up in these big international fields.
Yeah, and I think like she's probably picked things up from each one of those world championships where I think Paris, she went out a little too hard and then kind of faded, and she ran a much smarter race in Tokyo. So we'll see just kind of how measured her approach is this time around. So that's the women's senior race. Let's move on over to the men's side, where the top guy, and I think he's probably not that far from us because he'll be on the stage shortly during the press conference. It's Jacob Kiplimo, who won the Chicago Marathon in 2:02, I think it was. It was 2:02. Where was it? I have it somewhere. 2:02. And the thing about World Cross and marathoners is that once people make that transition to the marathon, they're less likely to come here and run a championship like this where there isn't as much money as getting ready for a world major. And so when we've talked about like when people throw the fall off of World Cross in the 80s, I mean, this event used to attract Kenenisa Bekele, Paula Radcliffe, or 90s, Paula Radcliffe, Kenenisa Bekele. Before that, I mean, Alberto Salazar is the last American to get on the podium, and that's when he was, a top marathoner in the world. That it's been a while since like, one of the best marathoners is also here.
Yeah.
And Jacob Kiplimo is filling that spot. And so major kudos to him because he could just be in Uganda right now getting ready for London. But he's like, I want to go down as one of the all-time greats. And cross country is one of those things that adds to my legacy. So I want another title. And I guess just we've seen him run at these global championships in Chicago. He's just so impressive in those late stages where sort of like a mile to go, 2K out from on that the final loop, I think is where he's going to throw down here at in this race. And there's going to be people who try and stay with him, a Barihu Aragawi from Ethiopia, but Kiplimo's the big dog in this race that everyone's going to be keying off of, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean he's definitely you would probably say he's the favorite.
Clear favorite, yeah.
But also it's training for the marathon is a whole different thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does coming back from Chicago and getting back here with guys like Aragawi. Aragawi's come second twice, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's been second on the track.
He wants it bad. I mean, this guy has put in his time and got his silvers. He wants a gold. And I think if there is a year to do it, it would be this year. I think Kiplimo is the favorite, but I still that battle between them up front is going to be fantastic. And I don't, Kiplimo might be the guy that with one lap to go makes the move, but you could certainly see Aragawi doing the exact same thing, and even farther out. They're not afraid to push it for when the finish line's not that close in sight.
I mean, it's a tale as old as time, like strength versus speed, right? Like Kiplimo has the engine, he's got the marathon legs. Aragawi's got the kick.
Yeah.
He has that track recency. And he's hungry. I mean, if we look at the head-to-head, Aragawi wants those golds. So I think this is not going to be a blowout. If I had to bet, it is not going to be a blowout between Kiplimo and Aragawi.
Those 10K PBs are so much closer than I thought they would be. 26:33, 26:31. And I think the thing that, to your point, Eric, is Aragawi's done being the bridesmaid. You remember even just when Jakob ran 7:17 for the 3K, it's Aragawi was second and also was under the previous record, but people forget that. And so it's he is super talented, so it wouldn't come as a shock if he came away with the win. Now, I think that Aragawi leads the Ethiopian team. And Ethiopia, I'm going to kind of put as the favorite on the team side of things.
Agree.
Because their 1-2 punch is so good. You got Aragawi, and then you got Binyam Mahari, the 17-year-old who ran the fastest 10K in the world last year, and won the pre-classic, did well at Worlds, but he competed in the 5K. He doesn't have as much cross-country experience, but like we said before, cross-country is cross-country, and if he, fared so well at the Ethiopian trials, he's going to do well here. So I think Ethiopia is the team favorite. Kenya, Daniel Abenyo is their number one guy who was the best 10K runner in the world. Now, the impressive part about him is that he ran Chicago and then doubled back 3 weeks later, or 2 weeks later, I think it might have been, to win the Kenyan cross-country championships.
So he's nuts.
So, it's kind of nuts.
That's awesome.
And I think part of that stemmed from the fact of Kenya had a bad track world championships. And it's we missed the podium in the 10K. It's I need to correct things. And if it means that me, formerly the best 10K runner in the world, has to come back to the track, to the cross country, then sure, I'll do that. So there's some good, I guess, national pride there.
Yeah, and that's a good point. This, we're talking about this as sort of, not as premier and prestigious as a track world championships. That is not the case for Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda. This is war.
This Super Bowl.
Is their Super Bowl. It really is. So you have these, all-time greats that are coming and making sacrifices to be here because this means everything.
Yeah. He's Paul Tergat is watching.
I'm this is a true, this is part of their culture. This is what they do. They understand cross country on an intrinsic level. They're fantastic at it. And Kenya's on a bit of they're not as powerful and strong as they have been they used to be the absolute best in the sport, and as far as the distance running goes, and it hasn't been quite to their expectations in these previous years. And I'm sure that they're scratching. They're like, how do we get back to that?
Yeah.
And this would be a huge stepping point in the process of doing that.
So then Uganda was the third team on the podium the last time out. But the thing about Uganda is, yes, you have Kiplimo, but they lost their number 2 in Joshua Cheptegei. So
Pretty
this
big
is,
number 2.
Yeah. And I think this is where the window of opportunity kind of opens up a little bit of tiny hope for the American squad. Where if we look at the lineup of Team USA on the men's side.
I'm going to say it. I think the USA men's squad, I think they're going to medal.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm going to whisper it. But I think this is a really, really strong men's squad. I know. I'm pretty sure USA hasn't got on the podium since, 2013?
The Ben True
Ben
squad.
True came in 6th. Chris Derrick came in 10th. So, you're going to need athletes to do pretty similar things this year. And if you look at these 6 guys, that's absolutely in the realm of possibility.
Ahmed Mohamed is a Florida State alum. He knows this course probably like the back of his hand. Parker Wolf, great showing in Portland. But it's just sort of like the 2 guys who had a bad day, Nico Young and Graham Blanks, are now all of a sudden like, all right, you gave him a couple extra weeks of training. Graham was apparently sick leading into USA's, and then Nico probably like in a block of heavy training.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, at least, like, I'm telling myself, Rocky Hansen riding the momentum of NCAA cross. But if Nico Young and Graham Blanks have a better day than they did in Portland, then all of a sudden this team is in contention for
Graham
bronze.
Blanks, how many? He's a 2-time NCAA cross champion, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic cross athlete.
Nico, that's how he made his name.
Nico, the same thing. Like, this is a squad that is, if they all, have they don't need to have A+ efforts, but if they just bring their best and have an A effort, right? This is a team that could absolutely sneak onto the podium.
More kudos to Wesley Kiptoo as well. I mean, he debuted in the marathon in Chicago and similar, like, had, I think, a little bit more time than Daniel Abeno, but locked himself into his first U.S. national team. Like, he became a citizen, I think, late into 2025, and now this is his first time you'll see him in a Team USA vest. Ahmed Mohamed made a world cross team in the past. Ahmed Mohamed is overlooked, I think, so much going into some of these championship races. Like, he's consistent when he's done the road 5K. So he's made for just sort of like, it hasn't come together on the track necessarily, but cross-country roads, he's one to watch. So when you take and list out all of the PBs that these guys have, Nico Young and Graham Blanks alone give us 2 sub-1250 guys versus, like, Ethiopia. Yes, you do have Aragawi and Mahari, but it's like, okay, we've got our 1-2 punch here as well.
I mean, I think Parker Wolf is going to race really well again today. I think that just that U.S. championship race was so tough. And Rocky Hansen was a guy who, he didn't just like sneak onto the team. He took charge of that race pretty early. Like, he made a very hard effort. I think Parker Wolf ran really strong. And again, in the past, we've seen Parker, when at these championships, he's not all the time like 100% healthy. So I think when he's healthy, when he's able to string together good training, and he's with that Swoosh Track Club group, with training with Nico Young, training with all those guys, I think he's going to have another super big performance this weekend.
Now, if we want to talk a sneaky squad that might be able to disrupt some things, it would be France, led by Jimmy Gressier.
Yeah.
Mostly because, and kudos to them, because, like, there's a lot of European squads missing from this championship. The European championships are on the calendar for 2025, and so what that means is people are out there chasing 10K qualifying marks, and there's money in the road 10K scene out there. And so for Jimmy G to recruit Jan Schrubb and some of these other guys who have had good success at European Cross and at the European Track Championships, watch for them to also try and make a podium push. Then you got Thierry Ndikumanyahu.
I think you nailed
Okay,
it.
yeah. Thank you.
I was practicing.
Yeah. All right. Well, you nailed it. Well, he beat Jimmy G at Eurocross, so look for him on the individual race. You got Mohamed. So, like, it's going to be thrilling, I think, both on the individual and the team race on the men's side. So if I were to, my prediction, men's side, Ethiopia for the win, Kenya silver, USA bronze.
Bronze. Gold in my heart.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see how this race plays out. Like, who takes it, who makes it. It's always hard, right? This race is never a slow sit and kick race, no matter how bad the Americans might want that.
Yeah.
It's going to be fast from the gun, and I mean, like talk like a guy like Jimmy G. After the year he had last year, his confidence is at an all-time high. He'll absolutely be mixing up Mohamed. I mean, all these athletes are so talented. Canada might not be on the team side, but Mohamed has got medals in events like this in the past. It's going to be such a fun race.
All right, final note. We've got the community run after that.
We do. We do. We
glad
have
the tip about the
4K. Thank God we have the inside scoop on the alligators getting larger and larger. Each one you come across. So we have 2 laps of this course, and
That second lap's gonna feel
second lap's gonna be tough. Now in the community run, just like the championship run, this is never easy. It's never sit and kick. It's gonna be hard from the gun. We're gonna have to get out. We're gonna have to work together. We're gonna have to be smart. Obviously, like Mac is the clear favorite. He might be coming in, and he might be our low stick. Mac doesn't want the pressure on it. He's shaking his head. He's saying no. But we're gonna need to all work together, figure out how we're gonna attack the hills.
Attack the beach.
Attack the beach. I forgot about the beach.
Attack the mud pit.
I think we're gonna have an interesting pack time. You know how that's one of the stats that's thrown around in cross country.
Okay.
The pack time is gonna be
Now,
pretty big.
is there a winning team from this?
We'll make note of it.
Okay.
We'll be doing our own scoring. But here's a quick look at the course. We've got the roller coaster, which again is that man-made hill. Florida beaches, I believe, is the sand pit. Then we go to the Florida coastline that has a dyed blue water feature.
Don't drink it.
Loser. How about loser has to drink from the water?
The last place CITIUS mag finisher will have to have it.
No. Okay, Max says no. HR says no.
Yeah.
And then we've got Alligator Alley with the increasing height hurdles, which we've learned everyone has to. They are going to make sure that everyone is going over those gators. There's no going around.
It's not NCAA cross rules.
NCAA cross rules. And we got Florida Everglades, which is the mud pit. So a lot to see. It's going to be extremely exciting. This is the hardest race in the world, and I cannot wait to watch it.
Yeah. All right. So follow along with CITIUS Mag all throughout the weekend. We'll be bringing you interviews, updates, results, and then a post-race show right here tomorrow, live from Tallahassee. I've been Chris Chavez with Aisha Pratt-Lear and Eric Jenkins. We'll see you tomorrow.